done is making.
Hey guys, so I've been promising it for like 3 weeks now, and so here it is. Another college rambling video. First one in a while, actually only the second one I've ever done. And I feel like it's time to update you guys. So I can't exactly remember where we left off, but I'll go ahead and just start catching you up from where I think I left off. I think the last time I talked to you guys, I was looking to apply to 2 schools in Kansas, and going through and applying with the one, and then I decided against applying to the other. I've decided to not attend either of those schools. In fact, after a long period of thinking, I'm actually going to stick in Kentucky. For the sake of it's going to be easier to travel. And here's the thing about the applying process, is that it seems like every time I would get done, I had one extra school in Kentucky in case I did decide to stay in Kentucky, and that was, and actually I've decided since that that school isn't my first choice. I did make it into both of the schools that I actually went through and completely applied for, and I'm waiting to hear back from my first choice. As of recent, my first choice. And this third school I've applied to. In fact, the last school I applied to, the one I wasn't even planning on applying to, the only reason I did is because my parents asked me to do it, and they asked me to look at the school. And so I have, and I did, and it's actually my first choice. I don't want to give names of any schools. I'm going to give the names of the two Kentucky schools, but I'm not going to tell you guys which is my first and which is my second. The 2 schools in no order are U of L and UK, the University of Louisville and the University of Kentucky. And so I'm waiting to hear back from one of them. The other one I've gotten into. And it's the hard part because I'm supposed to be filling out housing applications for the one school, but I'm not sure, but I don't know if I really want to go there, and I don't want to pay fees, and it's getting a little challenging. It's getting harder again. It's just a different kind of hard. It's not where do I want to go, it's I need to know what my status is. How am I going to get into the school? How am I getting into the school? That kind of thing. And yeah, it's rough. You thought, oh, after I apply, it'll be easier, right? All I gotta do is look for scholarships. It'll be fine. It's not fine. It's not fun. But as for the applications themselves, the Kansas school I applied to, that application was very easy. In fact, I think I got an application fee waived from them and everything, for being, I guess, for just my intelligence or something, I don't know. But I didn't have to, that was the only school I didn't actually have to pay an application fee to. U of L's was a little bit longer. Both actually UK and U of L were a little bit longer. UK was the only one to require an essay, which luckily I had already written up because of English class. But those 2 were a little bit more in depth, and I kind of it was interesting to compare the 2 schools because the Kansas City school was actually a private college, and these are both public universities that I'm applying to now, so I'm excited, I'm interested, and it's gonna be interesting. I said this was gonna be a college rambling video, but I don't know how much longer it's gonna go on because I'm probably gonna start repeating myself here in a little bit. But really that's just what I wanted to cover. I just wanted to get you guys caught up. I wanted to kind of keep a shorter vlog. That's one of my goals for this New Year, is to keep a shorter vlog. And I guess really what I'm gonna end off talking about here, but I guess what last thing I really want to talk about here before I get into what's coming up next week, is how am I feeling, what my thoughts through this process. And I kind of feel like you guys might be able to see it in some of the vlogs. It's a nerve-wracking process, and it's really scary. I'm not going to say it's the scariest thing I've done, because applying for a job was the scariest. Applying for the job that I applied for a couple nights ago was the scariest thing I've ever done. But this is just so a weight on your shoulders feeling, because this is your entire future. What I decide to do, where I decide to go, decides the rest of my life, and that's a little freaky. And it's kind of something I try not to think about. Like, especially during the holidays, it's always hard when people ask about college, because I didn't want to talk about it then. I didn't really like talking about it because I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on, and now that I've got more of a definitive picture, it's actually easier. And so some advice for all of you juniors, get a good idea, make your visits now. That was the thing I didn't do. I didn't make any college visits junior year. And that was actually a mistake because it makes it harder on you when you don't know exactly where you want to go and where you want to apply. Also, try to apply to a few schools. Like, unless there's like a waived application fee, try to apply to as few schools as possible because both UK and U of L had $50 application fees, which is a lot. It's kind of like, okay. So if you can get an application fee waived, make sure you take advantage of that if you want to if you're even thinking about applying to that school. You'll still have to you might have to pay transcript fees for your school, but at least fill out the application, and if you decide you don't want to do that one anyway, then don't worry about it. And sophomores, my advice for you is to start getting an idea, like a realistic idea. Sophomore year I started looking at colleges, but I kept looking at all these out-of-states. I was like, no way I'm staying in state, I'm getting out of here. I'm just kind of my whole mindset, and it says a lot about my sophomore year self, but that's not something I want to get into. And so kind of be realistic about it. Like, realistically start at least learning about schools. And, you don't have to know. Like, especially sophomores and juniors do not have to know what you're going into. Seniors shouldn't even have to know what they're going into. No one has to know in high school. What you really just need to figure out is what's going to be your best fit. Where do you want to live? And so that's just my advice. And freshmen, don't start looking at colleges. Please don't. No, please no. Just enjoy your first year of high school. That was the one thing I kind of always said to myself. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of colleges visiting. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm a freshman. I just want to enjoy high school. So that's it for me this week. Coming up next week is going to be a topic vlog on something that I have not decided yet. And the week after that is going to be some kind of story vlog. I'm not sure yet because I haven't actually written it, but it will be a story vlog because I will be just coming in from Latin convention. So yeah, there's a little summary of the next couple weeks for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys back next week. Stay cool. Stay cool.